Good day, friends. Now I'm going to take you through the concept of website design with special focus on the three major components that makes up a website. If you want to learn how to design a website from scratch, then it's important that you understand the concept of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, I'm going to take you through the HTML overview. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the most widely used language to write web pages. Hypertext refers to the way in which web pages, in this case HTML documents, are linked together. Thus, the link available on a web page are called hypertext. As its name suggests, HTML is a markup language, which means you use HTML to simply mark up a text document with tags that tells a web browser how to structure it to display. For example, let's look at the paragraph element or the paragraph tags in a typical website design. Now, the tags, you see the opening P, and you see how the closing tag looks like in the paragraph element. So now I'm going to take you through this. I'm going to demonstrate these two components of HTML, the hypertext and the markup language. So to get started, let's assume that we have this text typed out in a text document. So you can see the title is HTML overview, and I have paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first one talks about introduction to HTML. The second paragraph continues up to the concluding part. Now, if you type this on a text document and you try to view this directly on a browser, this is how it's going to look like. So I'll go to run, then I'll type launch this in Chrome. So I want you to see how it's going to appear. Now, if you do this, you notice that the whole text are mixed up, and you cannot really see the paragraph. You cannot see the beginning and the end. All the paragraphs that you had are all joined together. So I'm going to use this to illustrate the concept of the HTML markup. Now, don't forget what I said before now. HTML simply mark up a text document with tags to tell a web browser how to structure it to display. So HTML simply mark up a text document with tags in order to tell the web browser how to structure it to appear. So now I'm going to use special tags that are used in HTML to rearrange the original text document and see how, so that you can see how it's going to appear. So now see what I've just done here. So I have to specifically designate the paragraph tags. So the HTML overview comes under the opening and the closing paragraph tags. The second one paragraph also starts with the opening paragraph tags and closes with that. The third one, the same thing, and the fourth one, the same thing. Then on the concluding part, I had to separate each line with paragraph tags. Once you've done this, then you will now discover that this text document has been structured in such a way that the web browser will know exactly how to arrange this. So now if I try to run this to view how this is going to look like, you can now see that everything now appears in the normal way. So that's what the markup part of the HTML really does. It tells, it allows a text document to be marked up with tags in order to enable the web browser know exactly how it should display. So the markup simply allows a text document to appear in a normal way you want it in a web browser once it's been structured as a result of the tags that you've used. So I can also decide not to use the paragraph tags, but I just put the break elements along. So let's see this next example. So here, so I just have one opening paragraph here and the closing paragraph tag. Then in between, I'll just put the break elements, putting in the closing paragraph and or the opening and the closing paragraph as the text may be. So that's exactly what I did here. Every closing part of the paragraph, I put in my break tags. And once this is done, if you go to run again and say show this in Chrome, you have basically the same result. So that's how you can structure this text document in such a way that the HTML or the web browser will understand how to display this for you. So basically, the markup part of the HTML enables you to employ tags in order to structure a text document to enable the web browser make it appear in the right way. So now the next thing I'm going to do will be the hypertext. Don't forget, HTML means hypertext markup language. So the hypertext simply, like what we discussed now, enables you to link multiple web pages together. So let's assume that I'll create another document for this concluding paragraph, and so I'm going to take it away from here. So what I want is that this next document will just have just the first three paragraphs. The concluding part will come in another page. So I want to create a link in which when you click on it, it opens to the conclusion. So how do I do that? So let's view this in example 4. So in this example 4, what you've seen here is that I have my HTML document and I have the tags. So they are well structured the way I want it. But here, instead of adding the concluding part, I just decided to bring in another HTML tag, which is called the anchor element. So the anchor element will help me to reference create a link and reference it to another document, which is called conclusion.html. So where is this conclusion.html and how did I get this link? Now I will go straight to the folder. So this is my conclusion.html file. If I right click here and open it, you can see the concluding part. So how did I get that link? I'll right click on it and I'll click on properties. Then from properties I can copy the location. So this location will tell me where the file is. So this is exactly what I picked and I inserted into the hyperlink reference here. It will enable me to create a hyperlink which will link to the concluding part. So once you have this specifically assigned and structured the way we've done it, you can now run this. I'll go to run and I click on run in Chrome. So you can see here this appears as a link. So I can read my first few paragraphs the way I want it. Then immediately I click on this, it opens to another document in which it has been linked to. So that's really the basic concept of HTML, hypertext markup language. The hypertext part enables you to link multiple documents together, and the markup enables you to use tags to structure a text document to enable the browser display it in the appropriate way.